Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach, and let's talk Matty Scharenberg. It's funny how these JLT series matches can just change our views on players so quickly. We've seen Jaeger O'Meara roar into the top 10 of popularity, and a few other guys also drift off just because they either haven't played or even haven't set the world on fire, likes of Jack McRae and things like that. So Scharenberg has also been a man whose popularity and ownership has dropped slightly, and a reasonable amount. Certainly when I did this list, he was in the top 20, and now top 15 really. Now he's slipped out to 32. He's in 18.8% of sides. Now in these player profiles, I take a look at some of the more popular players, and I will start focusing in on some of the more, I guess, debatable types. I don't think I'll preview the real popular players because I guess that's a reflection of everyone's pretty much sold on that selection. So maybe a few more of the debatable candidates. But looking at Scharenberg, firstly, the pros. Now, he's a former top pick, obviously got talent, plays in an offensive role, and we can get him very cheap at 164k in our backline. The pros and cons are obvious for him. The decision will be difficult. Now, Buckley's been excited by him on the training track. Certainly a type of player that Collingwood needs. Since Heath Shaw, even O'Brien, Marley Williams has left the club, Seedsman has left the club. They're all guys who look like they could play that attacking role off half-back. Now, it does seem that Scharenberg could be that man. We'll have to wait and see. But that is the sort of role that he will play. And I think that's a very SuperCoach-friendly role. I think he should be able to get some easy possession. And as long as his body holds up, he is a good selection. 164k in our backline, the type of player that Buckley wants to play. And if he can have a reasonable pre-season, I think we'll be in the round one side. But that brings us to the obvious cons, and that's his body. He's only played the 4 AFL games, and they were in 2015. He's 21 years old, drafted in 2013 with the 6th pick. So that shows that he's really struggled to get in the park. Knee injuries, ACLs, time and time again, he seemed to be getting injured all the time. Been very unlucky, and it's quickly becoming one of those stories where we just hope he can get back and play. We've seen it not work with Morabito. We've seen it work with Menzel. It'll be interesting to see how Scharenberg does come back from it. He's been training real well. Didn't have the best JLT Community Series game the other day. I think he only played about half the match for 5 or 6 touches. But we shouldn't be put off by that too much. The main thing is he got through it, and by all reports, I don't think he was significantly sore. He's going to be sore. That just comes with the territory when you're a bloke coming back from long-term injury. But I think if his body gets through the pre-season and we see him named round 1, then we must pick him. The obvious concern is his body. That's probably the only con about him, because I do feel if he's fit, then his position in the best 22 isn't too much of a problem. I think he'll definitely be in there. Talking about a verdict, I've pretty much already said it. I'll be locking him into our sides for now. And I think we can do that even though he's 160, 50k extra to most rookie price players. I think we can lock him in, because even if he isn't named, we can swap him to a Hampton or a Keefe or someone like that with quite ease. And there are quite a few players with your Hibbards, your Ottens, your Vickers-Willis, Stewart, Ryan, quite a number of guys in our backline that seem like viable options for the rookie price. So have him in there for now for sure. If he's not named round 1, then we can take him out, swap him for a similar price player, the couple I mentioned, or track him back and save 40 odd K, and you can maybe use it better elsewhere. But definitely for now, I think he's a very appealing selection. Will play a nice role. As long as he gets through the pre-season nicely, he should be a great selection, because he'll get pill, he'll get game time. We just hope that his body does hold up. Now, we probably will get rested, but I think being a rookie price player, as long as we know he's in the best 22 and we'll come back to that best lineup, then I think we can cop the odd resting every 4 to 5 weeks. I think we can cop that, because he should make us some good money. And being a rookie, we can afford to, chop and change a few of those guys. So for now, he certainly should be in a lot of teams. I'm surprised that he's dropped off a little bit. But such is the nature with people. We're so reactive to these JLT Community Series games. I almost feel like doing a video on it separately, just how reactive we are and how ridiculous it really is. There's probably only 10 to 15% players in the game that these pre-season matches mean anything. They're the guys that you want to be convinced on. I'm going to stop myself there or I'll blow this time of the video out, but just don't be too reactive and form your side from week to week, just what happens in a practice game. That's all I'll say. Might do another video another time. But nonetheless, I think Scharenberg has to be in your side at the moment and deserves to be, and is subject to change, an easy change at that, if he isn't named round one or has a niggle. So let me know if you're starting him. I'll certainly be interested to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the video as always. Give the Facebook page a like, Shorty SuperCoach on Facebook. Got a video on it as well if you just want to grab the link off that. And check out the SuperCoach Championship ring as well. That should be in the link below in the description, just if you want to spice things up with a bit of extra prize for your draft league or your SuperCoach Classic League. But nonetheless, I will be back with another player profile. And next up, we'll be looking at a returning Hawk, who it's just great to see that he's back on the park, but he is tearing it up and going beyond expectation, and is quickly coming to my focus and many others. So we'll take a look at him very shortly.